Hey guys, what's popping? It's your boy, the My Hero What Ifs, back at it with part 3 of What If Deku Was the Flash. I hope you enjoy it, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and play my shit! In the last part, we start by Deku finishing the UA entrance exam, and we go back to the normal story. What happened in the last episode was that Deku helped Oraka through the first exam, and he crushed it when it came to the written exam. So now we jump into the story after that. So Deku went out of the UA grounds and he was walking home till he remembered, I'm famished, I need some food. As he found a little store that sells unpump buns, so he bought one and he was walking home till somebody touched him in his shoulder. It was Bakugo. Bakugo said, "How did you do, nerd?" As Deku said, "I think I did pretty alright." As Bakugo said, "I'm gonna be the first one in that damn exam, and you will see, Deku." Deku looked at Bakugo and said, "If you say so." So they went on walking and talking, and they are having a bit of conversation. So you didn't find any hardships using your power, nerds? As Deku said, "Nah, actually, I kind of thought about different ways to use my power." Deku responded. As Bakugo said, "I'm pretty excited to see that." As Deku said, "You will see with time. I'll impress you." So Bakugo and Deku having a bit of friendly banter and there. As they reach the intersection between their homes, as Deku said, "Yeah, I'm pretty beat. I need to go home." As Bakugo looked at him. "So the result will be here after a week, so I'll meet you there, nerd." Deku said, "Okay, I'll meet you there. Let's see who will become the number one." As Bakugo grinned and Deku smiled at him as they went their separate ways. Deku and Bakugo went to their homes. Now we jump into Deku's side of the story. As he entered his home, his mother was worried sick, and she kept berating him with questions. "How did you do, son? How was it? Are you injured? Is your power out of control?" And Deku said, "Relax, mom, relax. Nothing bad happened. I'm okay. I actually did phenomenal in the exam, so no worries. I'ma be in UA by a week." As he said that, his father came from the corner and said, "Don't be overconfident, son." As Deku looked at him, "Yeah, with the competence I showed in the field, I think I get to be a bit cocky, don't you say, father?" As him and his father started giggling, and his mother asked, "What about the written exam? How did you do?" As he looked at her with a bored expression. "Come on, mom." As he looked at her and said, "I did great, mom. I crushed the written exam. I'm sure I'm gonna get 100% in it." As he said that, his mother sighed of relief and she asked him, "What do you want for dinner, son?" As he looked at her, "A bit of everything. Let's celebrate, mom." As his mother said, "Typical Izuku West." As she started cooking and Deku went to his room as he started playing with his notes, writing down some of the quirks of the students there, and he noticed a bit of the quirks, especially Ida's engine quirk. As he looked at it, so it gave him the capability to go super fast. He wrote that down, and he wrote the possibilities of the weaknesses, especially for engine types quirks like over burning, overheating, and stuff. As he wrote that, then Uchaku Uraka, he wrote down her zero gravity quirk, and then he wrote the possibilities. Maybe when she hits a certain limit of weight, she gonna collapse. And then he wrote Bakugo was written by at the first explosions, so when he is in a bad climate change like cold weathers, his explosion does not work as best as he can. And he kept writing the possibilities of people who would enter in the quirks he observed there. Then his mother called down for him to dinner. As he went down and he had chow with his father and his mother, they are celebrating him and they are eating food and stuff. Deku, in the week before he gets his results, took it a bit easier, eating and doing minimal training because he needs the rest, because he beat himself for more than 10 months of training. It was hard, so now he gonna take it a bit easy, and when school starts, he will get back to shape, get back to the normal training, and he will push his speeds faster and faster under supervision of the school. So he received the letter at the seventh day of the week by UA staff member as his mother came down running. Izuku, as the results have came. As Deku said, calm down, mom, calm down. As he asked her, can I open it in my room? I want to do this personally. As his mother said, okay, son, but the moment you get out of the room, tell me the result, huh? As Deku said, okay, mom, okay. As he grabbed the paper envelope and he went into his room. As he ripped it apart, a small disc fell on the table and it projected a huge picture of All Might. I am here, young Izuku West, as he started telling him about his great deeds and stuff. So this and this and that. Because you rescued the young girl, we decided to add a bit of a twist to the exams. As he started telling him about his villain points. You scored 67 villain points. As Deku said, that would make me one of the UA students. As he said again, no, yet there is a second part to the exams, rescue points, and you are number one in that department too, so with a 60 score. So Deku said, 60 plus 76 is 127. That's great. As All Might said, and we want to congratulate you for breaking UA's record. Now you are at the top of the entrance exam. As Deku looked around him and said, Bakugo's gonna be pissed about this. I bet he did not think to rescue people. As he then All Might looked at Deku, the projection, and said, we welcome you to your Hero Academia. Then the tone of All Might changed into a bit of an anger. We welcome you into UA, young man. I am very excited to meet you. As Deku picked up on the tone change. What's wrong with All Might now? He seems like he does not like me in particular. Did I do something? Whatever. As Deku thrown the disc away as the projection turned off, and then he went out of his room and he told his mother, hey yo, mom, dad. As he started screaming, his mother and his father came down running to his room. What happened? Did they reject you? What? As Deku said, no, mom, I scored number one. As his mother looked at him, number one? What do you mean number one? Number one in the written exam? And Deku said, that and in the fake villain exam. I scored both number one. And his mother congratulated him as his father played with his hair and told him, good job, son. As then Deku said, somebody wouldn't be as happy as you two. And his mother said, whew. Nah, never mind, mom. As Deku went out of his home and he went to Bakugo's home and he called up on him, Bakugo went down. As they started talking and Bakugo said, God damn it, I didn't score number one. As Deku giggled to himself and then Deku looked at him. So how many villain points did you get? And Bakugo said, 77 fucking villain points. I wreaked havoc there. But Deku looked at him, didn't you get any hero points? Deku looked at Bakugo said, hero points, what the fuck is that? And Deku said, and that's why you didn't score number one. As Deku looked at him, I'm number one. I scored 60 hero points. Hero points are for saving people. You need to work that out, Bakugo, and your hot temper, you know? As Bakugo said, the fuck did you say to me, nerd? Do you want me to blow you up? And Deku said, calm down, Katsuki. We are just talking here. And by the way, I broke UA's record, as Bakugo said, and he started fuming. Deku, you better run before I blow your ass to dust. And Deku looked at him, if you can't catch me. As Deku bolted towards the beach and Bakugo started tailing behind him, using some explosions to push himself. These two rascals did not care about the rules put by the world on them, as they started running and they are playing around like they are two children. You can't mess with children that way. So they are running and Deku using normal speed. He's not pushing his speed to the limit, and Bakugo is catching up. And then the moment Bakugo was about to touch Deku, Deku looked at him, whoop, as he sped up a little bit faster, Katsuki, as Bakugo started pushing more of the explosion out, as Deku started pushing more of his speed out, and then they crashed down on the sand of the beach. So, Katsuki, Bakugo looked at him, what nerd. So this is the beginning of our story, huh? Bakugo said, it looks that way, nerd. So, as always, let the better one be number one. Let the best of us be number one. As they chuckled, and we jump into the first day of school. Deku went to class as in the normal anime, and he looked at the door and said, "Damn, this door is made for giants." As he opened the door and recognized most of the students there from the exam, he recognized Ida having a rough talk with Bakugo as they are screaming at each other. Yet Bakugo seems a little bit simmer in this what if. They are screaming at each other, and then Deku turned his head to see Jiro sitting in a seat from behind. She is surrounded by a redhead dude and a blonde dude. As he looked at her and she looked at him, "Yo, Izuku!" As he looked at her and said, "Hey, Jiro, how are you?" As he went to her to talk, and Ida came from behind and touched Deku's shoulder as Deku jumped and looked at him. "What?" As he said, "I want to introduce myself. My name is Ida Tenya," as he is chopping his hand through the air in the up-down motion. And Deku looked at him with a chuckle, and he started chuckling. "My name is Izuku West." "West, you say? Are you a foreigner?" "Yeah, from my father's side. I took his name." So Deku and Ida looked at each other. "So you are a speedster, I see. So you are super fast," as Izuku said to Ida, and said, "Yeah, I can say the same to you. So let's be friends." Izuku threw his hand to shake him. Ida said, "Okay, why not?" As they shook hands and they looked at each other, Izuku gave him a warm smile, and Ida looked at him. "Now I got something to do," Izuku said to Ida. Ida was bewildered. "What do you mean?" "I gotta go talk to Earphone Jack right there." As he went to her and they started engaging in small talk, and Izuku said, "How did you do in the exam? How is this? How is that? How is this?" And they are talking, having fun. Then a brunette girl came from behind and said, "I know that redhead anywhere." As Deku jumped from behind and looked at Uraraka, and he said, "Uchaku?" And she said, "Ah, it's Izuku." So they started talking and stuff, and Jiro had this sour look in her face. She is looking at the competition all over to take that speedster boy. They are talking and stuff. They can see a caterpillar sitting behind them, and he said, "If you came here to make friends, you better leave." As Aizawa got up from his the beanbag, and he not beanbag, from his sleeping bag, and he looked at them. "It took you all 4 minutes, and that is not right. Everybody get into your gym uniform and meet me at the school gym." As everybody changed and they went down to have the test their limits. So they went down there, and Uchaka started crying about the entrance ceremony and stuff, and Zawa said that you are now heroes in training, you don't have time for that kind of stuff. And he is giving her a bit of a lecture here in the students, and then he called down to Bakugo, and he thrown a baseball ball at him and said, "Throw it." How far was your normal throw in school?" "It was 67 meters. As he said, "That's pretty nice. Now add your quirk to it." As Bakugo said, "It's time to show them what I got." As Bakugo grabbed the ball and he cocked it back and threw it, adding an explosion and screaming, "Die!" As he threw it, and it crashed more than 700 meters. It was 769 this time. I don't know why I chose that number, but fuck it. He threw it 769. In the normal anime, it was 700.3. It was, in this time, it was because of the training he did with Izuku, so his quirk developed a bit. So 769, and it landed. Everybody started cheering and laughing, and then Izuku looked around. They are testing us on our first day. I get the idea that the last one of us is gonna be kicked off the class. As Momoyaru looked at Izuku and they looked at each other. So she said, you figured it out, huh? I guess, as Aizawa chimed in and said that the last one in the class, because of the cheering, is gonna be kicked out. And Izuku looked at her and looked at, as she said, this is something he gonna do because he wants us to push ourselves to the limit. And Deku looked at Aizawa with bewilderment in his face, and then he saw the serious look on Aizawa's face and told her, this is no joke, the last one is gonna be kicked. As she looked at him, shocked. Are you sure? And Deku looked at her. Yeah, from the look of his face, he is pretty serious. So push yourself to the limit, okay? As he whispered that to Momoyaru, Deku put himself up, then the normal test started. Deku shined in the 50-meter dash as he scored number 1. He scored from side to side jumps. He scored number 1. Long jump, because he used his super speed, his super jump was a bit far, so he physical test that make him run, he scored the number 1. But in the grip test he scored 56 kilograms. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't something impressive. And he scored in the ball throw and then came the ball throw. It was Deku as the last one who's gonna throw the ball. As Aizawa threw him the ball, he said, impress me. As Deku grabbed the ball and he started moving his hand and his body in a super fast motion as he started running, gathering kinetic energy. As Aizawa thought, I'm gonna confirm the suspicion of All Might and the others. Because they looked at his record and they saw that he is deemed quirkless. So how can he show this power? Somebody gave him power, and they don't believe that someone is matured right now, a quirk, and he got a quirk right now. So they are thinking that All For One gave him a quirk. So Deku is spinning super fast, and Aizawa activated his quirk. This is gonna blow your cover now, kid. As he looked at Deku, Deku wasn't slowing down or anything. Actually, he was gathering more speed and speed and speed as he turned around and he threw the ball with all his might. The kinetic force from all that movement he did pushed the ball farther and farther and farther until he landed at 700 meters. It wasn't that hard, but it took a bit of time to gather that much of kinetic energy. So he's not a heavy hitter, but he is smart for using that kind. So Aizawa looked at Deku. I guess that was not a quirk. So what are you, kid? As he looked at the student and said, nobody's gonna get expelled. And Izuku Midoriya, meet me at the principal's office after classes are over. Izuku looked at Aizawa and said, okay, sensei. As everybody said, he is in trouble from the first day. And Bakugo looked at him. What did you do, nerd? Deku looked at him and said, nothing. What do you think? I guess they looked at my file and they saw that I was quirkless. I was deemed quirkless and now I'm displaying power. So I think they are afraid that I might be something else. So they called on me. So Bakugo said, be calm, Deku. And as he looked with a worried look at Deku, and then Deku looked at him. It is a perfect moment to tease him. Are you afraid for me, Bakugo? Bakugo said, like hell, nerd. Now fuck off. As they went to class, had class as normal, and the teacher now was Prison Mike. As he teaching them English, he kept glaring at Deku because he is the one with the idea that there is a traitor in your way. So he kept glaring at Deku, and Deku started getting pissed by that. So because each time he put his head to the table and then he lifted up, he can see President Mike looking at him. And then the end of the day, and Deku picked his backpack up and Jiro tapped him on the shoulder. Do you want to go home together? As Deku looked at her. Yeah, sure. Then, god damn it. Jiro, I'm sorry, but I gotta go to the principal office. Remember what happened this morning? And she said, no problem. I can wait for you. I don't live far from here, actually. And Deku said, okay, I'm gonna be there in around 15 minutes. As Deku picked his bag and he was walking towards the principal office, Bakugo came to him. Yo, nerd, don't let them push you to say the wrong things, okay? Be calm. As Deku said, you're actually worried for me, Bakugo? This is a brand new thing. As Bakugo said, fuck off, I hope you get expelled. And Deku said, nah, I know you don't mean it. And he looked at him, I know this class will be boring for you. As Deku continued walking, and then he arrived at the principal office. He knocked first, and then Nezu responded, get in. As Deku opened the door, and to his shock, he looked and he saw All Might in his buff form. He saw Aizawa, he saw President Mike, he saw Midnight, and he saw Principal Nezu all in a circle. And Deku said, I welcome a party all for myself. And and he started laughing. Then all the teacher had a serious look on their face. I guess this isn't the time for jokes. Haha. As he entered, he put himself and he sat down at a seat. And Nezu chimed in and started talking. Young Izuku West. It says in your file that you are quirkless. Care to explain how you gained that kind of power? Did somebody offer you strength? Did somebody offer you power? And Deku looked at him. Can somebody do that, actually? And everybody was bewildered by his answer. So nobody by the name of All for One gave you power, kid, as All Might chimed in. And Deku looked at him. All for One? All for One, All for One, All for One. I guess I read about that name in some kind of old article. I guess he was Prince of Shadows, as they called him, as he is using a sarcastic tone, as All Might was getting pissed by the attitude of their skin. And Deku sat down. All of you, didn't you read about my incident? And was it not on my file? As everybody was looking at him. What do you mean, kid? Yeah, goddammit, this will take a bit of time to explain. Listen, I have 10 minutes, I need to explain, then go home, okay? So I'm gonna go really fast about it. I was born quirkless, right. Until the age of 12, I was developing a formula. I used it on myself. I was hit by lightning, I exploded, I stayed in a coma for 9 months, now boom, I have superpowers. Does that work for you? As everybody said, huh? I said, you were quirkless and now you have superpowers? Yes, exactly, Deku said. I experimented on my body and now I developed a power. It's not a quirk. It's called the meta gene. I activated something in the normal human body to give me this power. Because of the circumstances, I was hit by lightning in the chemical concoction I created, exploded at me, covered me, made me super fast now. And All Might looked at him. That actually kind of makes sense, as Nezu looked at him. So, kid, be careful, as everybody kept their eyes on him. And Deku said, I will be careful, but you better stop with the glaring and stuff. I didn't come here to study under you and to turn out to be wanted to turn to the greatest hero and getting these sour looks by you, okay? As Deku was getting pissed at them. And they looked at him. This kid has the nerve to talk to us this way. And Deku said, yeah, I have the nerve. Because from the moment I got into this class, I only got berated by you. I got berated 12 years for now, for being quirkless and powerless. And now that I develop a power, you keep berating me? And everybody looked at him and All Might chimed in, okay, kid. Okay, we got you. Calm down. And Deku looked at him. Fuck, this isn't worth it. As All Might said, kid, be calm. We didn't bring you here to berate you or something like that. We were just afraid because one of us, as they looked at President Mike, said that there might be a mole inside the school. A mole, said Deku. And All Might said yes. As Deku said, so you better be careful. I'm not the mole. And I have people that will tell you about my story and confirm it. You can ask Bakugo about it. Katsuki Bakugo, if you want to confirm it and stuff. We will at a later date, Nezu said, as As he said, now you can go home. Deku picked his bag up and he walked out of the school. As he found Jiro and they all started walking home and they are talking. So, how was your first day at school? Izuku asked Jiro. It was okay. The first teacher actually gave me quite the scare because of that exam. So, you placed number 3, right, Izuku? And Deku said, yeah. How about you, Jiro? I actually placed number 10. That's pretty impressive. As they are walking, and he said, don't worry, I placed that number because of my powers are made for that kind of test. But if I would say you're the stealth type, gathering information with your ear jack, and yeah, she said, yes, you actually well versed about my power. And Deku said, I take notes. As they are walking home, and Deku started joking around with her, and she said, do you have an eye for anyone in this class? Deku said, what do you mean? Any particular girl or something like that? Deku said, nah, not really. I would say you're the pretty closest one to that. As he gave her that without thinking, because he's the kind of dumbass to do that. And he walked, she blushed to herself. Whew, I'm not out of the race, she said, as they started walking home. And then he dropped her off next to her house and said, I'ma see you later. As Deku looked around. It was so hard keeping my composure. Now I gotta go vent some anger now. As he went to the beach and he looked at the beautiful sunset and he said, he dropped his bag. He sat down a bit, then he said, I want to run. As he started running up and forth, up and forth, up and forth, up and forth, pushing his speed to its limit until you hear the sonic boom. As he kept on running as fast as he can. I need to work on this. As Deku returned to his bag and he picked it up and kept running to his home. If they can catch me, maybe they can berate me now. As he crashed next to his house, as he slowed down a bit and deaccelerated until his speed reached 0. And he entered house and he asked his mother for how. His mother asked him, "How was your day, How was your day, son?" As he said, "It was pretty good." He didn't want to tell her about them being suspicious of him. "It was pretty good, mom." And his father said, "How did you do? We actually had an exam this morning. I classed number 3. And he said, "Number 3? Who was number first?" "This one kid called Todoroki. He has a special quirk, a combination of two, half hot, half cold. And then Bakugo because of his raw strength, then me because of my raw speed." And he said, "That was pretty good." As they ate and Deku went to his room and crashed down and slept. I'm gonna be stopping this what if right here. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys like the stuff I'm doing with this what if. I know my ideas are a bit all over the place in that because I don't write scripts no more. I do it just from pure imagination. So this is my mind speaking rawly. This is my raw imagination put into a video. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I hope you guys enjoyed the Naruto what if. And I want to say, this channel is pretty dead, but I'm enjoying making videos. As you can see, for the past week, I made around how much videos? 3? Yeah. In the span of 5 days, 4 actually. Yeah, 4 videos in the span of 5 days. And this is the 6th. And tomorrow will be another to what if. So I hope you guys enjoy. I hope you guys like what I'm doing with these what ifs. Don't forget to like, subscribe, because we almost at 1K. We are 979. We still have around 21 subscribers, and we crashed that milestone. So without further ado, this been your boy Xeno ZT. I hope you have a blissful day and have fun. And I'm gonna see y'all in the next episode. Goodbye. Peace.